Good morning, targeted individuals. I'm trying to make this video because I've been targeted since 1994 while serving the United States Marine Corps. The United States Navy had illegally implanted me with a tracking device. And the way they did it is that they implanted me during a dental procedure. Okay? And so they implanted me without my consent or without a federal court order. When you implant somebody or you track somebody or you implant a device to track somebody, you have to have a federal court order. Well, in this case, they didn't have a federal court order. So I had tried to stop this program of implant and mind reading back in 2000 when I filed a federal lawsuit against the Navy and the VA, and the judge threw it out. So then 2000 on the way up to this time, several things have transpired. And the way you go seeking for answers is, of course, you have to go to the representatives who represent you, your congressmen and your senators. So I went to one Congressman Charles Gonzalez, back in 2000, and he was stopped by the legislative branch from investigating this. And so then I went to the FBI back in 2007 and spoke to Agent Gary Simmons right here in San Antonio. He says, there's nothing going on, man. Go on, man. Get out of here. Okay? So then I go to Will Hurd, Congressman Will Hurd, and he was stopped from investigating this, you know. And so then I went to President George Bush, President Barack Obama, and now President Trump. You see, so all the chains of command were covered. I even went to local agencies such as the American Civil Liberties Union and those individuals to help me on the targeted individual and implantation case. Okay, so what the government is saying is that you cannot read my mind, and what I'm thinking doesn't exist. He's lying. What the fuck, you know? If people can read my mind and know what the fuck I'm thinking, I'm not fucking lying, and it is a crime of what they did. But they're trying to cover up the conspiracy. And now the FBI came to my house back in 2017 and said, hey, man, if you got a problem, I said, here's a problem. I'm being targeted and tortured and implanted. Are you going to investigate it? Well, here's my card, man. If you have any problems, email me. So I emailed him and said, hey, stop the implant, man. I'm being targeted and tortured. Stop it, man. And he says, oh, no, stop emailing me. If you don't email me, I'm going to get you for harassment. So the FBI files harassment charges to me. And I, of course, wave the flag of duress because I'm being tortured. They're the law enforcement agency, and they don't want to investigate it. And they won't show up to court to listen to my complaint and how this is going on and my expert witnesses. I filed for a trial so I can be heard in trial so we can explain to the FBI what coercion and duress is and why we're contacting the FBI, and they don't show up to court. The case is dismissed. So what good is a federal law enforcement agency to protect the country if they're not doing their job? We have several agencies out there. We have PACS International, PACTS International.com. We have ICAACTS.org. We have Dr. Robert Duncan, an ex-CIA operative. We have Dr. John Hall, who is an anesthesiologist right here in San Antonio. He wrote the book, A New Breed of Satellite Terrorism, The Guinea Pigs. Go back to Dr. Robert Duncan. He wrote the book, Soul Catcher. You know, and Taming a Demon. These books are evidence about expert witnesses who experienced a targeted individual or what I'm going through. And now that I fought the FBI, now they're coming down on me. They're tightening the noose. They're torturing me, picking at my head, my elbow, my knees, my chest, my legs, my feet. They pick at me when I go to the gym to stop me from exercising. They pick at me, when I'm just having a quiet time. And they're torturing me because they don't like it that we have to confront them and do their fucking job. But who else is going to protect the fucking Americans? We don't have satellite weapons to shoot back at those fucking idiots. I don't have a satellite weapon. I don't have any weapons. And I don't have any weapons because they've given me disability to keep this goddamn thing quiet. And that's unconstitutional. You can't do that. You can't pay somebody to keep a crime quiet. You have to investigate a goddamn crime. And that's what I did back in 2000 when I filed a federal lawsuit, when I went to the FBI, when I went to Congress to stop all this shit back in 2000, 2007, 2006. They have a duty to stop this, man. And now the FBI is trying to kill me to cover up the fucking conspiracy. Bottom line. I eat healthy every day. I run every day. I jog, exercise. I'm always at the gym working out, man. But they're trying to stop me from speaking out so that way you can be the next victim of implantation and reading your mind. They want to implant Americans and make it legal so they can track you. Track you, kill you, torture you, or track you, kill you, know what you're thinking, where you're going, and alter your food. It's not right, man. It's unconstitutional, man. You don't want the government to know what the hell you're thinking, or where you're going to get your next cup of coffee, or where you're going to go get your fast food, or where you're going to go eat with your family, because they will alter your food. You don't want that, man. You don't want them to understand what you're thinking and produce a patent, so they steal the patent and they close you down. You don't want the government to know what you're thinking, period. It's unconstitutional to invade your privacy and to broadcast that to society and to the government, in which they should have no fucking concern. That's against the law, man. It's a violation of civil rights. So, if a law enforcement ain't going to do their job as a federal law enforcement agency to stop satellite weapons and implantation, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? So, as Americans, we are being targeted and tortured. We are being coerced to do things we don't want to do. Okay? We would rather be at home, sitting down, relaxing, or working on the job, but we're being targeted and tortured at the eyes of our legislative branches. And if you don't believe me, go to PAX International, who now I heard just recently, this weekend, that they confronted the FBI. And now the FBI is taking 50 cases from PAX International. Why not take more cases around the world? Why just PAX International? So it doesn't make sense now they're taking cases and investigating this when they should be taking cases from the whole country and quieting this stuff down and going to the media and say, hey, we are under attack. Because they are. We're being tortured, man. Coerced to lose our jobs. Coerced to act other than normal. We would be otherwise normal. But we're being tortured. We're being coerced to act other than normal. And typically you would go file a report. And typically you would go to the law enforcement agencies. And we have to understand that the people that protect our country are up there. And they are aware. NORAD especially. NORAD is a protector of space and air. They know what goes through the air. How hot the air is. What the flying object is going through the air, man. And their job is to go back to the police department and say, hey, this motherfucker's got some high radiation in the area, man. What the hell's causing that? And they have the tools to do that, but they don't want to do that. Because it's a form of genocide. It's a form of treason. They're attacking their own people, the American people. So, food for the thought. We need to start broadcasting more interviews. And I recommend that if they're holding the media up for ransom because they're not letting them allow publishers, then we have to create a TV channel or broadcasting network in public so that way Americans can understand what's going on. Because this is fraud. You attack me, I go to the doctor, I pay the insurance premium, and insurance premium go up, and you can't afford it. So the insurance companies are getting duped, man. They're getting stiff for this stuff, man. When Americans would rather stay healthy, go to the gym every day, you're trying to coerce me to go to the doctor, spend insurance money, which is fraud. It's a crime. And the American people are not waking up to this. But if they did, I guarantee you, they would have a 1 million man march through the White House and question the legislative branches. Because something needs to change. Someone's getting paid to keep quiet. And the reason I say that, because if you remember 2001, and you can research this online, look up 2001 Space Preservation Act, Congressman Dennis Kucinich, the Democrat from Ohio. He tried to write constitutional law to stop all this. So why didn't his law get passed? Ask that question to your congressman in office and your senator's office. Why didn't the 2001 Space Preservation Act get passed? If they can answer that question seriously, then you know why. Because the lobbyists are paying congressional senators under the table to keep it quiet. They're making money, killing Americans. Why? Ask your senator and congressman. Why didn't the 2001 Space Preservation Act get passed from Congressman Dennis Kucinich from Ohio in 2001? Thank you.